is it medical or religious agenda? And this is about circumcisions performed on male children basically. Let me first put up a rider. No doctor from Andhra Pradesh wanted to speak on this. Some said no and some were unavailable, but we have a doctor who said he will only talk about the medical aspect of it, because medical knowledge, I think, belongs to all of us. Communal misinformation, on the other hand, has no parentage. It just thrives on hearsay. Now, for instance, this story from Andhra Pradesh, where Nageswara Rao, the former Central Bureau of Investigation Director, has levelled an accusation against medical practitioners in Andhra Pradesh, saying that they were conducting circumcisions on non-Muslim boys as part of an organized effort to promote a particular religious or communal agenda. Rao wrote to Health Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Satyakumar Yadav, and demanded that a committee should review medical records from government and private hospitals for the past decade to verify each circumcision performed on non-Muslim boys. What is more, in his letter to the Health Minister, he demanded that the entire syllabi, teaching materials and training modules across all medical colleges be examined to ascertain if circumcision was indeed being promoted. Health Minister wrote back to Rao and said that I am concerned, and he took to X and said as follows: the government of Andhra Pradesh is committed to evidence-based medical practice, ethical standards and communal harmony. I have taken note of your concerns, and the health department will examine the issue in accordance with established medical guidelines and legal provisions. But you know, in my limited knowledge, I have heard that circumcision, which is practiced among certain communities, is not limited only to those communities. It can be performed on male children as medical intervention if clinically justified. For instance, any male who has repeated urinary tract infections despite medical treatment may also go in for circumcision to reduce any kind of infection and pain. To say it is done only as a religious practice, I think, is very, very myopic. Of course, female circumcision is another story, another conversation. But for now, let me go across to the expert to understand about circumcision, which can be performed on male children or maybe even prepubescent males as a medical intervention, for God's sake. Dr. Vineet Malhotra, who is a very well-known urologist, is now joining us. Dr. Malhotra, really appreciate your time and agreeing to be on this broadcast. Dr. Malhotra, my question is clearly, because I respect you for your knowledge and I don't want you to be mired in any kind of a controversy. Sir, isn't it true? I brought up two boys, so I know this, that circumcisions can be performed on any community, on a human being, on a male human being, because it requires, you know, medical intervention to ease the pain, to perhaps ease several other things. Dr. Malhotra.
Thank you. Good evening, Sudha, and thank you for having me.
Sir.
Problem for people, both for boys, children, adolescent boys, older men, and elderly men. So, as a medical procedure, it was performed at all ages. As a religious procedure, it's performed in all Muslims and Jews. Jews at birth, in Muslims usually in the early childhood. And more than 70% of the men in the world are circumcised, because half the Christian population is always circumcised. So, as a procedure, it is a common procedure. As a procedure of religious importance, it is done for several communities. As a medical procedure, it is done for a large percentage of men for specific reasons, such as tight foreskin or rectal infection. And I would believe most circumcisions which are done by urologists and andrologists actually are usually done for medical reasons.
It's really wonderful what you said, but you know, the thing is that just to limit it to a particular community is also absurd, isn't it? I mean, I've heard of, okay, so I'm going to be, you're a doc, so why should I mince words? My child could not urinate for the longest time, and he was 5 years old, and he had urine coming, you know, in fits and starts. I thought it was an infection, gave him a lot of fluids, he was in pain, he used to cry, and the doctor, I took him to the pediatrician, said, you go to a urologist, maybe circumcision is the best method forward. because there was something about the foreskin, you know. So, Dr. Malhotra, tell us, in what kind of conditions can you perhaps go in for circumcision, sir?
So at 5, we may have given him a conservative trial. Usually we consider 7 years of age as the cutoff for 5 years as cutoff for taking away all the conservative measures and opting for circumcision. But if there's a very, very tight phimosis, now tight phimosis means that the foreskin does not move at all. Now remember, there are natural secretions for the foreskin, and these natural secretions will get infected if they don't clear up, which is why we ask them that they clean up till the boy is old enough to clean up himself when he showers or when he has a bath. And that will prevent infection. Circumcised boys or men will have a lower chance of having such infections because they don't have any collection under any foreskin which exists. So if that were not to happen, if the foreskin would not move, it would allow infections to happen. That would then require foreskin to be treated either by medical means or by a surgical procedure such as circumcision.
No, thank you very much, Dr. Vineet Malhotra, for making the time and joining us on this broadcast. And I hope Nageswara Rao understands that circumcision is not limited to certain communities. It can be a very good medical intervention when it comes to male children. Tamil Nadu politics appears to be heading for a possible alliance reset with churn across camps ahead of the 2026 assembly elections. The BJP has asked its cadre to avoid public comments on Tamiliga Vetri Kazhagam chief actor turned politician Vijay, even as speculation grows over new political alignments. Sources are telling us that the caution is aimed at preventing vote split, with the BJP-led NDA focusing on unity to take on the ruling Dravida Munneta Kazhagam. Comes even as Union Minister Piyush Goyal, during his maiden visit to Chennai after being appointed the BJP's election in charge for Tamil Nadu, spoke and had a lot of meetings with BJP. Now, Goyal, who was holding detailed discussions, later also met AIDMK General Secretary Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, underlying the need to strengthen the NDA alliance. Now, adding to the churn, a TVK leader has hinted at a possible tie-up with the Congress, with sources suggesting that TVK is exploring an alliance with the Congress and the left parties. Let's go across to a guest to understand what is with this, the new diktat, as it were, telling the BJP cadre that do not perhaps say anything against Vijay, and of course the TVK's Muralidharan has joined us, senior political analyst. Murali, thank you so much for joining us on this debate. Tell me something, what is with this? I remember initially Edappadi Palaniswamy saying this to his cadre, saying that, listen, don't speak unnecessarily. Then of course the rally happened where the flags were waved of the TVK, and he said this is a very, very auspicious beginning. But let's cut to now, you know, where it's really coming close, the alliance and the seat sharing and everything. The yesterday's meeting was testimony to that. What is this new diktat or new instruction by Mr. Piyush Goyal to BJP cadre? Don't speak against him. Is there some smoke and a lot of fire, Muralidharan?
Not very difficult to say, Sudha, because these are like more of speculations. He has not openly spoken to the media about this, etc. But I mean, on the safer side, they would like to keep the options open because they know that Vijay is likely to cut into some of the major minority vote bank. So probably just to keep him happy, safe, because even if ADMK and NDA, the NDA is likely to win the 2026 elections. Now, who should be the opposition? If you see BJP goes that extra mile in ensuring even the opposition doesn't have much of a voice. That's how their politics is. So if they want to decimate DMK, they want to ensure that they're completely wiped out, not just they sit in the assembly as the opposition. That's their strategy.
Why they may, that's why you think they may stitch up an alliance with the TVK, and this is the first step in saying that let's let's offer an olive branch. But the thing is, there is another party in this. The marriage will happen between two people, two persons. Vijay is very particular, very adamant that no, I will not join the fascist party. So, what is it? I mean, I know things change. Nothing is fair in love and elections. But the point is that, is there any kind of, because he's made it very clear with Sengotian there, he's made it more 5 or 6 times. BJP is not to be touched. Muralidharan, you think this will be futile for Mr. Piyush Goyal?
No, I don't think so, Sudha. See, end of the day, what you need to understand, the Muslim and the Christian votes do not account more than 15%. So there is a major chunk which is always guaranteed to DMK, not now, for several years. So what Vijay is going to get is some portion of it, not the entire thing. So that's 15% divided by 2, 7.5. That's not going to make any difference for anybody. But that will definitely jolt the DMK's chances. So Vijay has an upper hand right now because he's going to be a party spoiler. So BJP and ADMK, on the other hand, are into the consolidation mode. If you see, there are already signs coming out that Dinakaran and OPS also will be included into the NDA by giving them some few seats, whatever. And also the PMK father and son who have actually split right now, even they will get equal number of seats than the DMDK, etc.
Right,
so
but
this
yeah, right. But OPS has said very clearly that I don't want to join a party which has a traitor like Edapadi Palaniswamy. So look, a lot of voices. You must have read in the newspapers. I saw that bite. I mean, he's very clear about it. DMDK wants their own pound of flesh. PMK, of course, wants their own pound of flesh. But amongst all this, what is most surprising is that the BJP cadre being instructed by Piyush Goyal to kind of pipe it down.
I mean, they always think, at the end of the day, winning an election with, let's say, 50 or 50 plus seats compared to a clean sweep has its own advantage, you know. So that's what they're looking at. But Vijay's talks with Congress and all is like not going to happen because Congress will not risk losing DMK because of the number of MPs they have, and also the Rajya Sabha presence. So Congress and DMK, there's no way they're going to split and Congress going to join TVK. So that Vijay knows very well. So considering all these facts, Vijay is safer and he will benefit joining the NDA because next election he may not have the money to even contest after spending all the money in this election.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much, Muralidharan, for joining us on this broadcast, throwing light on what it means when Piyush Goyal says to the BJP cadre not to speak out of turn and against the TVK.